Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about HTML tables. Initially, we need to understand what is table in web development. So actually the HTML table allow web developers to arrange data into rows and columns. So we can arrange the data in different rows and different columns. So for that we can use table, the tag table, tr, td and th. By using these tags we can insert the table to our HTML web page. So in that case, initially to understand the concept we will discuss what is table. So in that case, here if you take a table, if you consider about a table like this, in here I just draw a table with 3 columns and 5 rows. So 3 columns mean this is column and the B column and C column, and also the row means the A row and D row and D, G, H and M row. So in here if you take a cell, for example, if you consider about this A, if you consider about this A cell mean, this A mean its first cell, first data of the first row. That means this is first row, this is second row, third row, fourth and 5. A mean this is the first data of the first row. So if you consider about E, that means it is the second data of second row. So if you consider about I, it is the third data of third row. If you consider about O, it is the third data of fifth row. So we need to, in here we are not using the term column. Instead of that, the data, that means if it is O, then that is the third data of the fifth column, fifth row. So this is the way of representing these cells in particular rows. So then now here this is a just table. The first column is created to store the names, and second for contact and third for country. So the name mean it is the first data of the first row. So in here you can see initially you need to create open the table tag, then the border is 1. So in here this is the tr mean this is table row mean it is the first row, that means the first table row. I have created the first table row. In here there are 1 2 3. The first data is name, the second data is contact and third data is country. So likewise, after we close this first line here, then we created the second table row. In here the first data is Mala, the second data is the particular telephone number, and third data is the country India. So then after, in this point, we just close this table row and again create the third row, and we just we just need to type this data. So in here you can see the difference between this and this. So that means here we use td mean table data. In here th mean table heading. So here you can see the name, contact and country are visualized as bold text. So here that means that the bold text means it's heading, table heading. So for that, instead of td we can use th. If you want the bold text then as heading, then you can use th instead of td. And also tr mean, as we already discussed, tr mean table row, table mean the table. You can type all these rows and all the data within this table tag. The border one means, so if you want to insert a border, then you can insert the border like this. So let me discuss how we can practically do this by using Notepad++. For that, initially I'm going to go to start and I'm going to open Notepad++. So in here, initially we need to create new document. I just create new document. So then after we need to save. So for that I'm going to save in my desktop as table. Here you can click here and you can find out the save as, type as, hypertext markup language. You can save this. So now I have saved. Here you can see table.html. So then we will insert the basic syntax for that of HTML5. So doc type HTML. If you open, then you need to close HTML. Then in between the HTML open and close, the first component is head. If you open, then you need to close the head. The second component is body. Then we need to close this body. This is called as HTML syntax. So in between the head open and close, you can open title, and if you need to close this title. So nice, we have inserted the basic syntax of HTML initially, right? So if you want title to be displayed, then you can type as whatever title. So we will select a title based on this data. So it is just a contact details. So we can insert this as contact. So right, so now we are going to insert the table. So for that we need to insert the table in the body, within the body. So in between the body open and close, we are going to insert a tag element called table. I have opened the table, then you need to close the table. If you open once, then you need to close. So in between this table, so here we are going to create this table. So this is the first row. That means this heading row is the first row. So I'm going to create the first row, table row, TR. So if you open that, then you need to close this table row. In between this open and close, you need to include this data. The first data is name. So first TD is name. Then you need to close TD. The second TD is contact. So you need to close this TD. Third one is country. Then you need to close this TD. So then after, so for so we need to close this TR and we need to open new table row. It is second row. So then just close. In between this second TR open and close, you need to include all the table data. For that I'm going to copy this and modify. Right, fine. So the first data is Mala, and in here I'm just going to copy this data to make it easy. Right, fine. So then I'm going to copy this and I'm going to insert the third row. So third row means Pereira, and Pereira's contact details. Yeah, so here you can see the table was created. So first row, second row, third row. The issue is there are no borders. So if you want to insert the border, then you can add the border as border equal 1. So you can include the border and you can refresh. Then now you will see the border was created. And one more thing, here you can see the name, right? The name, contact and country should be bold. That means table heading, it should be displayed as table heading. So we will go to our code. And here instead of TD we will make this as TH. If you want to make this as bold, then you can use this TH, table heading tag. So I am going to remove all TDs. Instead of that I am going to use TH. I'm going to update and refresh. So now you can see that this heading was made as bold. So right. So then the next thing is table size. The table sizes. So here to change the table size, you can use style width as the size. So for that, then you can go to your code and here you can insert styles. Style equal within inverted comma the width. You can provide the size as 100%. So you can save, that means you can update and you can refresh. See, you can see the table took places as 100% of the web page. So it is 100%. That means the full area was covered. So then the next thing is table header. We have already discussed that TH. You can use TH to insert table header. And the next thing is cell padding. Cell padding is the space between the cell edges and cell content. That means if you consider about this table, the space between these edges and content. So if you want to modify that means if you want to increase the space between this edge means this borders and the content. So left, if you take if you consider about the first cell, so the space between this border and this content, that's called as cell padding. So to add cell padding, you can use the heat term as cell padding. So we will add cell padding to our table also. So here you can use cell padding equal, you can provide some values in pixels. So here I'm going to use 10 and you can go here and you can refresh. Now you can see the cell padding, the space was increased. If you want to increase more, then you can increase just as 15. Now just update this and you can refresh. So now you can observe the cell padding, the space between the edges and this content was increased more. Right. So the next slide is about cell spacing. Cell spacing is a space between cell. If you consider about two cell, the space here you can see a small space is here. So by adjusting this, you can adjust the spaces between two cells. For that, Here you can see there are two borders, there are two lines in between this cell. So if you want to add a cell spacing 10 or something, cell spacing is 10. I'm just going to update and refresh. See, the space was increased, the space between two cell was increased. So let me change this as 1 and refresh. So now it was decreased. Let me change this as 0. So and refresh. So now you can see there are no space, it's look as a single line. So you can include this as single line also. Right. So the next topic is about whole span, call span and draw span. The call span mean to make a cell span over multiple columns. So if you consider this table, here the columns, here if you consider, maybe if you take about the 1, 2 and third cell of the first column, and the fourth cell of the first column was merged. It's called as call span. Call span means here the columns are merged. So that's why it's called as call span. So if you want to merge the columns, then you can use the call span. So for example, in here, if you consider about this, if you want to merge this contact and country, these two, then you can go to your code and here, so here we need to merge this contact and country. From where? So from the first row, from the first table row, here, from the first table row, you can go here and in this TH, you can include call span. So if you want to equal within inverted comma, how many cells you want to merge? So in this case, I just want to merge 2 cells. So then if you want to modify this and country, contact and country, now you can erase this, save this and go here, and so now you can see these 2 cells are merged and the label was changed as contact and country. It's called as call span. So here the 2 columns are merged. So if you talk about the row span, so for example, to the Mala and Pereira from India, if the Mala and Pereira from India, then no need to type here India and India again. So for that, what you can do is you need to apply row span. You need to merge rows. So that means here, in here, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. 3 rows were merged. That's called as row span. So for that, what you can do is here in the output design, so we need to merge this 1, 2, 3, third table data of second row and third table data of third row. So for that, you need to go to the second row initially, third table data. See here you can type as row span. How many rows you need to merge? 2 rows you need to merge. So then you can remove this because we have merged. So then you can remove this and save the document. You can refresh. So now you can see these 2 were merged. So that's called as row span. So thank you.